Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fields at Southern Virginia University for your matchup of men's lacrosse versus St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia Knights. I'm Aaron Rumbaugh calling the game for you with Ryan Larson. We got a great matchup between two CAC teams, both looking for their second conference win of the season. Ryan, what are you most looking forward to in this game?
I'm looking forward to the face-off matchup. St. Mary's is a very talented team at the face-off X, as well as Jace Thomas, who has struggled a little bit later on this season. I've talked to him, and he is, he's feeling confident about today's matchup, so I'm looking forward to that.
So we have St. Mary's coming in with a 3-8, 1-2 record on the season. They're looking for their second conference win of the season, just like your Southern Virginia Knights. And we'll start the game with the face-off. Looks like Jace Thomas isn't able to get the first face-off of the game.
Yeah, it's always frustrating as a face-off guy when you can win the move so easily, but you put it a little too far forward for you to get it. Jace just needs to work on a little bit of control right there, and he could actually have a pretty good, looking forward to having him have a strong game.
The Knights are coming off a tough loss against Bridgewater College last Wednesday. We're looking for them to bounce back and see how much they can improve off that game and hopefully get the conference win tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is a very important game for the Knights to win, as you may know that it requires 3 CAC wins to qualify for the tournament, and given the strength of our the strength of the teams in our conference, this is definitely a must-win game for the Knights.
St. Mary's looks to move the ball around, just being patient on the field, trying to get a good first shot. Looks like the Knights defense is holding up pretty well on this first defensive possession here. A great block by the goalie.
Yeah, that was definitely a big improvement from from last week. I think as every game comes, we're starting to see a little more improvement in their one-on-one matchup and their defense. As you saw right there, Jacob Lamb was on the ball and didn't require slide, forced a low-angle shot, and it was a turnover.
Brady Cook able to bring the ball up for the Knights, and Sean Lamb has possession.
Now I expect to see a lot more patient offense than we've seen in the past. Given St. Mary's talent at the face-off X, as well as how we've struggled defensively throughout the season, I would expect them to take a minute and a half to 2 minute possessions and try to get real high quality shots.
As you can tell, it's definitely a cold one out at the fields tonight. About probably 37 degrees, and it's almost snowing out here, so it definitely might be a factor in the game today. Ryan, playing lacrosse, how much does weather affect the game?
It definitely affects it, especially when there's some moisture in the air. It has deepens the pocket, which creates a little more whip, changing the plane on your passes and shots. But a lot of these players are experienced, and a lot of people actually used a specially strung stick for wet weather. So I wouldn't look forward to that taking a factor too much tonight.
Seth Garf takes the first shot on goal for the Knights, isn't able to convert, so the St. Mary's Seahawks will look to get their second possession on offense. The Knights are doing a lot better this game of, slowing down their opponent at the beginning of the game, keeping them from getting a lead. Last game they had a 2-0 deficit to start the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can definitely tell that they've practiced recovering and getting back on defense since Wednesday. It is important that they don't allow their St. Mary's to score and press transition.
Number 26, Jeremiah, passes it off number 25 for the shot, Ben Claffey.
That was a great save by Ian Arve.
A great save by the Knights goalie. And number 4, Colin Maxfield will bring the ball up with the long stick and a shot from far away.
Oh, and another quick turnover by the Knights. I kind of questioned that decision by senior defender Maxfield. Your goalkeeper makes an outstanding save. You press transition, you take a shot that's outside 12 yards with a long stick. Probably not the best decision early, but it's early in the game, so it's not too detrimental.
Seahawks look to move the ball around, looking for another shot on goal. Not much movement around for the Seahawks. The Knights playing good defense, keeping track of their men. Both teams are 1-2 in conference, looking for their second win in the CAC conference. A great conference that has a lot of great teams, so these types of games are really important to get a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the first goal of the game goes to the Seahawks, number 15, Connor Quinn.
And that was just an excellent move by Quinn. Dodger's main goal is to get his defenseman on his back. He's able to keep his stick inside, protected away from the defense, and was able to get release the ball before the slide came. So that was an excellent shot, excellent goal by St. Mary's.
So we move to the second face-off of the game, see if Jace Thomas can get the possession for the Knights. Definitely has a tough matchup. As we understand, the main face-off guy for the Seahawks is a D1 transfer, so a very capable athlete in this position.
And that'll be Jace Thomas' second win today. Winning the clamp, although that will be the first face-off he's actually won. But it's nice to see that he's getting catching his stride and catching his rhythm. So.
Shot by Sean Lamb. Looks like it might have been blocked a little bit there, but the Knights retain possession. Seth Garf with the ball, looking to clear it out. Knights doing a good job today, being patient. Definitely something that they learned from last game. I'm sure Coach Lamb has emphasized for this game.
No, absolutely. And it looks like we're going to get a second look for the second midfield unit for the Knights, including number 20, Cade Rich, who was injured last game. They only had him in as a man-up specialist, and I've actually been really impressed with Cade this season. He's really buying in and playing his role really as the second-string midfielder, offensive specialist, and look for him to dodge hard, and he likes to create his opportunities down the alley. Rich like in his matchup he has right now.
Passing it to Seth Garf on the outside. There's Seth Garf with the ball.
Oh. And there, look was there. Seth, you can definitely tell that Garf was frustrated with that pass there. But nice to see that they're starting to create opportunities.
A missed pass, but it's also good to see that they're looking for each other closer to the goal instead of taking that long shot.
No, absolutely, and that's something I don't think we saw too much of against Bridgewater, taking a lot of shots outside of 12 yards.
So St. Mary's looking to get their second goal of the game. Of course, the Knights looking to keep it to a 1-0 deficit. And a slippage out there. The ground's wet and cold, so we might see a lot of those during this game.
Yeah, and as a Dodger, you're definitely going to have to be aware of that. Really make sure your base and foundation is solid before you change direction, or you're going to be slipping all over the place on this field.
St. Mary's being patient, looking for the shot. And they get another goal. I believe that's number 99. That would be Eric Wusthoff. Sorry if I missed that. So St. Mary's gets a 2-0 lead early in the first quarter. And what do the Knights need to do to keep this game in check and not let it get away from them early?
Again, just focus on your matchups, and if you do slide, they need to be paying attention to backside, because that weak side dodge has been killer for the Knights so far in this game.
So Jace Thomas looks to get And he does, gets his second face-off.
Yeah, wins it perfectly clean.
Nice.
Oh.
What a great pass and great shot.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. You just allow 2 goals, and then you go in, dominate a face-off, take it right down, slam it down their throats. So that was a great pass and great shot by number 10, Tennyson Schmidt.
So the Knights keep it to bring it to a 1-point deficit. That's going to be a good sign for the Knights, and I'm sure Coach Lamb is happy to see a score on the board. It kind of gives them some relief there.
No, absolutely. Thomas with another face-off win, which is very exciting to see. It seems like he's finally catching his stride.
And that was Tennyson Schmidt's 23rd goal of the season, and that's pretty impressive for, I believe, he's a freshman.
Yes, he is a freshman. This young Knights team is full of extremely talented freshmen, and Tennyson Schmidt is definitely one of those.
Anthony Good comes in the game for the Knights, kind of one of those sneaky offensive players who'll get a goal, when the Knights, when the other team isn't really looking for him.
Yeah, he's definitely an inside specialist. He works really well inside, has really quick hands, and he's able to catch almost every pass thrown to him.
Good movement by the Knights. There you go, Anthony Good, number 27.
And there you go, yeah. Seemed to be like Good actually mishandled the pass, but
yeah.
Hey, it pays to be lucky. So great feed inside by Michael Anderson, and very unusual, but great finish by 27 Anthony Good.
It's good to see that quick ball movement by the Knights.
Yeah, and just like that, we're tied at 2.
You talked about this last broadcast about how lacrosse is definitely a game of momentum and definitely able to swing the game around in your favor quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially if you're doing well at the face-off X, that definitely has a huge factor into winning games and creating momentum.
So St. Mary's initially gets the face-off, but turns the ball over to the Knights.
Yeah, that was very exceptional wing play by number 21, Alec Pedroza. We haven't seen too much of him this season, but after some hard work in practice, he's actually become a real factor into this defense.
So Cade Rich with the ball.
Really liking his matchup he has here.
Missed pass, but picked up by Seth Garfin. Nice pass to Cade Rich. Way to have great vision by Seth Garf looking for Cade Rich for the goal.
Yeah, that was an outstanding play by the freshman. The play was botched by the mishandling of the pass. Great heads-up play to really attack the ground ball and to find the wide open Rich on the backside. And that was a great shot by Rich. It was a really high-speed shot, placed it perfectly off stick hip. I would consider that a goal in any league. So, great shot by Rich.
So the Knights score 3 goals in a row to take the 3-2 lead, and this is a great sign for the offensive unit of the Knights. And they also get the face-off.
And that actually was number 5, Jacob Lamb. So neither face-off men having too much trouble this game so far.
And that was Cade Rich's 8th goal this season. So the Knights look to bring it to a 2-point lead in this snowy weather that we have here at the fields. It was 70 degrees yesterday, and it's 35 right now. Tennyson Schmidt with the ball, bringing it on the left side, looking for the one-on-one matchup, but the double team from the Seahawks forces him to pass it out.
A mishandled pass, but Knights able to recover. Ground ball scooped up by number 25, Ty Veers.
Pass to Tennyson down the middle to Anthony Good.
Oh, and it almost trickles in, but that was a great save by goalkeep number 80, Ross Snotterly.
It was a good shot, but a better save by the goalie. The Knights try to keep the ball in the backfield, and the Seahawks bring it up. The long pass, but stolen by Brady Cook, I believe. Is it? Maybe.
That's got to be frustrating if you're Snotterly. You make a excellent save to stop a goal, and then your team turns it over and the ball's coming right back at you. So that's got to be frustrating.
Tennyson Smith running the offense right now, taking it all the way to the back of the net. Once again, Anthony Good right there in the middle. Shot by Isaac DeGarlis. It was a good shot, but once again, another good save by the Seahawks goalie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think DeGarlis felt a little rushed on that shot. He probably had a little more time. He had more time than he thought he had, probably. On those ones, you just got to tuck your stick, maybe throw a head fake, and then change the plane instead of shooting it stick right into the goalie's stick. But another outstanding save by Snotterly.
So the Seahawks slow it down on this offense possession. Their first offense possession in a couple minutes for the Seahawks. Definitely want to look for a good shot.
Yeah, they definitely need to, get some good ball movement. Looks like the Knights are going to make that difficult on them with how far they're pressing out.
Seahawks keep moving the ball. A drive, pass back out.
An aggressive shootout by Patrick Reese contesting the ground ball.
Might have been a smart move by Patrick. They're inching closer to the net, and now they're, pushed further back out. Here they get closer. Number 7, Dominic Venanzi. The double team by the Knights, both long stick. Oh, off the crossbar.
What a rocket of a shot. Yeah, absolutely. I don't even think Ian Arve was ready for that one.
Tough break for the Seahawks, but they retain possession.
Although you don't score there, that sometimes can be a confidence booster as a shooter. You beat the goalie. You got in a good shooting spot. So if you keep taking those shots, they'll definitely fall, or start to fall. Excuse me.
Just about a minute 30 left to play, and the St. Mary Seahawks are looking to maybe get the last goal of the quarter.
Oh, quick feed inside. Outstanding finish.
And a great pass to number 44 for the goal. That's Marshall Rhodes. And that's Marshall's 15th goal of the year. So St. Mary's ties the game up 3-3 with a minute 20 to play. We have another face-off. Hopefully the Knights are able to get this one and secure another goal and take the lead going into the second quarter. It's been a pretty evenly matched game so far. Looks like we have a good one for you guys here.
Face-off won by Jace Thomas, and it seems like he was met with a swarm of Seahawks on the ground ball, but was able to get the ball over to Brady Cook before. But there's a stoppage in play. Looks like we have an injury on the Knights. I can't see who's that. I think that's Colin Maxfield. Maxfield in the past few years has had some serious shoulder issues. Maybe seeing some of the same stuff tonight, but oh nope.
Looks like it might be
Yeah,
a
it looks like knee or ankle.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay. Nothing worse than those kind of injuries, especially to your senior defensive captain.
You can see Sean Lamb looking a little worried there for his teammate.
Yeah.
Been playing together for 2 years now. I'm sure all the Knights are worried. Colin Maxfield being a senior captain on this team, big part of their team.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, nothing serious is wrong with Maxfield, and
for sure.
And then hopefully they can get this game underway. See, seems like he's going to stand up. Let's see if he'll be able to walk off on his own accord.
There he goes.
Yep, walking off on himself by himself. That's also a good sign, but definitely favoring that right leg. So fingers crossed for Colin, and let's see if he'll return to this game. I'd like to give a shout out to the Knights athletic training staff, led by head trainer Chad Mahaffey, who's been involved with the lacrosse program at Southern Virginia. Honestly, since it started back when it was an MCLA club. So he's definitely in good hands with the trainers they have on the sideline.
Yeah, Chad's a great guy. Definitely, he does his job as a trainer, but he's also a really great asset to the program, a great friend to the players, and he really supports the team a lot. So the Knights look to get their 4th goal. Probably going to try to take the clock out and try to get the last shot of the quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean Lamb liking his matchup. Quickly, St. Mary's will switch off of him to put the long pole on him, which is smart to do so, given that Sean is the former CAC Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, definitely a player that all teams are going to be scouting and looking out for. And that kind of brings in these other Knights players that are able to hopefully get a goal. But the Knights throw it away, turnover.
Definitely not how you want to end the quarter, but that was a good look. The weather probably playing a factor in Rich's pass.
So 3 seconds left, and they don't get the shot.
Oh.
Did that count? I don't know if the time went out. It looked like the time went out before the shot, but I guess they're going to count the goal.
Couldn't see the officials ruling, but it definitely looks like they're going to count the goal. In lacrosse, it doesn't matter if the time runs out when the ball leaves the stick, as long as it passes the plane of the goal. Even after the time runs out, it'll still count. So great play and great shot. Great way to close the quarter for the Seahawks. And I didn't see who scored the goal. Did you see that, Aaron?
No, I actually missed that. I was just surprised that the goal counted, so I wasn't looking for the player. Sorry about that. So the Seahawks take the 4-3 lead going into the second quarter. And, it's been a good game so far. Evenly matched up, both teams going at it hard, trying to look for their second CAC win. I'm excited to see what the second quarter brings us. The Seahawks are coming off a 11-3 win over Marymount, which is pretty impressive. Marymount, gave Southern Virginia a tough game earlier this season. Southern Virginia losing to Marymount 22-9. So this St. Mary's team, they're for real. They're a good program, as most teams, I guess all teams in the CAC are.
Actually, correction. Marymount was a 13-9 win for the Knights.
Oh, excuse me.
The 20-7 was, or 22-9 was Salisbury.
13-9 win for Marymount. So yeah, both teams are pretty evenly matched here.
Yeah, absolutely.
My mistake. So the second quarter starts here with the face-off of Jace Thomas. It looks like he's able to get the first face-off of the second quarter.
I've been real impressed with his play so far in this game. Like I said, he's he struggled for most of the second half of the season, but really starting to find his stride in this game and having his way with a pretty talented face-off guy.
Definitely a great asset to the team. He's a freshman. Able to have him next 4 years will be huge for the Knights. Excuse me, he's a sophomore. Next 2 years will be great for the Knights. So the Knights look to move the ball around, again looking for a great shot, as I'm sure Coach Lamb has preached to them going into this game. Tennyson Smith with the ball up top. Having the right side open, and he might go in for the goal, and he shoots but misses. The placement wasn't probably where you want it to be, Ryan.
No, definitely not the placement you want to take on that shot. I like that he went aggressive to the goal, but like I've said a few times, you got to change the plane on your shots, especially against a goalie who's doing as well as Snodderly is tonight or this afternoon.
Seahawks continue to move the ball around. We have a one-on-one matchup. Moving the ball to the back of the net. Good pass. And a shot on goal by number 3, Ray LaPlaca, I believe. Seahawks retain possession with the 4-3 lead. Another shot and go off the crossbar. Unfortunately, not able to get possession for the Knights. St. Mary's will take it back again.
And I actually want to give credit out there to number 21, Alec Pedroza, right there. He kind of got a little tip, making the pass a little harder to catch. Maybe if that pass went cleanly through, he would have had more time and it was able to aim. So that was a great play by the freshman.
And a blocked shot for the goalie. Ian Arave doing a good job here, keeping the deficit to 1 point. And Seahawks retain possession again. What do the Knights need to do to, get possession after these shots? Is it kind of just luck, or?
It's kind of where the ball lies. Be aggressive on the ground ball, and that certainly helps when your goalie can make a good save and save it cleanly. So great job by Ian Arve.
Ian Arve, excuse me, I said Arave earlier.
Sean Lamb liking his matchup, and he will settle things down. I believe this is the first real time they've, actually got the ball settled down to get set up on 6-on-6. St. Mary's playing awfully aggressive here.
Sean Lamb with the ball behind the net, passing it over to the left side.
Tennyson Schmidt liking his matchup. Good pass by Tennyson Schmidt. Great pass and an even better finish by number 42, Seth Garf.
Tennyson Smith able to draw the double, and he looks for the open man right in the middle. Seth Garf with a great shot.
No, absolutely. And talking to some of the coaching staff, Casey Rich as well as Jacques Mercer, they always say that Seth Garf has the fastest release on the team. So got a good glimpse of that there. Almost looked like a one-timer shot for hockey. Had the ball on his stick for a fraction of a second, and next it was in the back of the net.
Jace Thomas doing a great job here getting the face-off. Taking it all the way to the goal. For the wow, what a great shot. Yeah. Jace Thomas.
Yeah, and he'll bury it. He'll bury that one. And he's done that a few times this season. Coming right off the face-off. That's what pays when you have an athletic face-off guy like Jace Thomas. But he looks like he's headed to the sideline. Take a little breather.
Jace Thomas saying, hey, if no one's going to stop me, I'm going all the way. Great shot by Jace Thomas, giving the Knights the 5-4 lead. So number 5, is that Jacob Lamb?
That is Jacob Lamb.
Coming in for the face-off. Sean Lamb's brother. St. Mary's able to get their offensive possession here. Yeah,
and that was vital to St. Mary's game plan right there. Is to they got to take advantage of these face-off wins, especially after giving up 2 quick goals. So let's look for the Seahawks to settle things down a little bit, move the ball, kill off some clock, and try to get a good scoring opportunity. The Knights making it awfully difficult with how aggressive they are pressing out.
Seems like the Seahawks kind of did the same thing in the first half. The Knights had a couple goals in a row, and the Seahawks, when they got the ball, they definitely slowed it down to try to stop momentum. Aggressive defense right there.
We are seeing number 4, Colin Maxfield, back on the field, so that's good to see that he nothing serious is wrong with the defenseman.
Great to see. Seahawks number 15 getting the double team. That's Connor Quinn. He had a goal earlier.
Great defensive play. Looks like St. Mary's will call a timeout.
That's got to feel good mentally for the Knights. The defense having to cause the other team to call a timeout because of their pressure.
No, that's definitely what you want to see, and especially since with a team that struggled so much defensively this year, I really like the changes they've made. And that was a great heads-up play by Maxfield. See that the Dodger had his head down, wasn't looking towards the goal, nor was he looking to an open man. So he's able to, almost sneak in there and almost force the turnover. So great heads-up play by the defense and great aggressive play by Maxfield.
It just seems like the Knights are a lot more locked in this afternoon than they were their last game.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking the same exact thing. You're definitely starting to see a more poised offense, more aggressive, sturdy defense. Jace Thomas is winning some face-offs. And Ian Arve is making saves. So it's great to see.
We got a great game here at the Fields at Southern Virginia. The Knights taking on St. Mary's. They have the 1-point lead, 5-4. It's been a pretty back-and-forth game so far here. Looking for a great end to this first half. Still have 9 minutes left here in the second quarter, and St. Mary's with the ball.
Now, with a team that's pressing out so aggressively as the Knights, I would look for St. Mary's to really isolate and dodge, have these long dodges, trying to draw a slide, and that should create an opportunity backside, which I believe we're starting to see right here. But in order to do so, you have to be confident in your dodging and draw a slide.
We'll see what the Seahawks do here after their timeout. Aggressive defense there from Brady Cook.
Now, number 25, Ben Claffey, dodging against Brady Cook. Claffey being an attackman is used to dodging against the long stick with a 6-foot pole. So an attackman usually when they get those matchups will usually take advantage of those.
Great save for the Knights goalie, Ian Arve. Knights bringing it up. Brady Cook down the middle.
That was a great play by Arve. That was a good scoring opportunity by the Seahawks, and Ian Arve playing on his standing on his head today, making some great saves.
And a shot, Sean Lamb, I believe his first shot of the game, missed.
And that was another good save. Both goalkeepers on both teams are playing very aggressive and very well.
A loose ball.
We're gonna have a stoppage in play with a flag. So looks like this will be the first penalty of the game, and we'll get the first look at the Knights extra man unit. This is a very talented group of men here. You got great shooters like Sean Lamb, Seth Garf, and Cade Rich. Great ball movement and feeders like Tennyson Schmidt and Ty Veers. And then you have Anthony Good, who's just an absolute monster on the crease, who can use that big body to finish these the inside goals really well.
Yeah, it's a lot different team from last year. There's a lot more rounded team with a lot of potential players that can score a goal.
Oh, and little mental mistake by Sean Lamb, but with being man up, they're able to ride aggressively. Yeah, that was a great hit.
Weather definitely having a factor also, but that hit definitely got him on the ground.
Yeah, that was a great ride, great aggressive ride to save the man up possession, but possession seemed to be killed, and the Seahawks will go full strength.
Shot on goal by Seth Garf, missed, and the Knights will keep possession here, looking to bring it to a 2-point lead.
And that was a great penalty kill by the Seahawks. Great heads-up play to, they had 27 Anthony Good wide open in the middle, and he's able to read Sean Lamb's eyes and was able to make the pick.
And the quick-footed Sean Lamb with the ball, passing it up to Cade Rich. Tough shot by Cade, and the Seahawks goalie able to get the ball for St. Mary's.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably a little rushed on that shot. He definitely had probably more time, or probably a better decision to pass it. But Cade's a great shooter, and he has a lot of confidence in his shot.
Cute little behind the back.
Yeah, very cute.
Definitely, I can't do that, so props to him. Seahawks once again taking their time behind the goal. Ian Arve definitely ready for what's to come, doing a great job tonight, or this afternoon so far.
Yeah, and I really like the story of Ian Arve, especially on this season. He actually was not named the starter.
Great defense from Colin Maxfield, able to force a turnover.
Yeah, and actually going back to Arve, number 31, Boston Preisler was the starting goalkeeper at the beginning of the season. Played very well, and then throughout the season, Ian Arve makes some improvements, working hard in the weight room, taking some extra shots at practice, and was able to earn the starting role.
Ian Arve being a junior, he might just have more experience than the freshman, Boston Preisler also. So,
yeah, quick turnover for the Knights. We'll give the ball right back to St. Mary's, and definitely being a little aggressive on this transition here, but Knights able to shut it down and force the Seahawks to go into some 6-on-6 offense versus defense.
Seahawks looking for the one-on-one pass in the middle.
Great look, but again, another better save by Ian Arve, who's playing very well tonight.
Number 28, Mike Anderson, brings the ball up quickly. getting it to the other end of the field for the Knights.
Yeah, that's the third save for Arve right on the doorstep. So, hats off for him, who is really keeping this Knights team and keep making sure this game is staying close and that the Knights retain their lead.
Yeah, this could easily be a different game if Arve isn't playing the way he is.
Right. Now pay attention. The Knights have some offensive-minded players hung up on the sideline, and they're going to force the St. Mary's offensive midfielders to play defense. So I would look for some midfielding dodges from the midfield during this possession to take advantage of these, dodging against someone who doesn't typically play defense.
Sean Lamb passing it off to Tennyson Smith. Back to Sean Lamb. Good look, just wasn't able to connect.
Yeah, he probably had one more step to take to get above GLE a little better, but it was a good look, and Knights were able to retain possession. Isaac Jajarlis really liking this matchup. And this is a very dangerous matchup. You got attackman dodging against an offensive midfielder, especially a great dodger such as Tennyson Smith.
Good defense so far by the Seahawks. Tennyson Smith being smart, passing it off to Sean Lamb, unable to handle it. Losing the stick, and it's kicked.
Yeah, a little forced pass right there. I don't think that was the look you want to be making. And then a little lackadaisical on the ground ball by Lamb. You got to make sure that you keep two hands on that stick and that you pick up that ball. Otherwise, you're going to turn it over as you do right there. Missed opportunity by the Knights. And
I think Brady Cook broke his stick right there.
And that's frustrating. Those things are not – oh, yeah, definitely a broken stick right there in the middle of the field. Those things are not cheap.
Wow. Great defense. Very aggressive from the Knights.
And that's another play by Pedroza, who I've been real impressed with tonight. Will force the failure to advance and another turnover for the Seahawks. Great heads-up play by the freshman.
So do they have like extra sticks laying around on the sideline?
Almost everybody does. Coach Lamb likes to run a really tight program, and he'll provide sticks for the team.
Almost saved it.
Yeah, I was going to say I thought the Knights just got away with it, but nope. Official all over that one.
That would have been very impressive. But the Seahawks are able to get the ball back. About a minute 30 left to play in the first half. A loose ball.
Yeah, he is surrounded by a swarm of Knights. But
there goes the penalty flag.
Yeah, definitely looks like there's going to be something drawn there. Definitely some physicality going on right now.
3 penalty flags on the field.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Who are they going to call it on?
Looks like it'll be on the Knights.
Oh, definitely on the Knights. It looks like number 23, Patrick Reese, is going to serve some penalty times. Maybe along with Jacob Lamb, but oh yeah, there's
wow.
That's not how you want to end the half. With a 2-man down, Seahawks definitely have a great scoring opportunity here.
6 on 4 right here.
So let's see. In these opportunities, you gotta move the ball really well, get the backside skip lanes wide open, and don't settle on these far outside shots. Really work to get the most opportune looks.
If the defense for the Knights can get a stop here, that'll be very impressive.
Yeah, it'll be very big to the game. Oh, and another great save by Arve. Ball again, still in play.
Once again,
very
Arve
physical play. Oh, and there's going to be another penalty by Colin Maxfield.
The ref's not.
Oh, and another save by Arve.
The ref's not giving the Knights any breaks here.
That was a pretty physical hit. Um,
Not very
but
smart.
no, this is definitely going to be a free play. But one of the penalties is released. With the ball turned over, that'll activate the penalty.
Well,
Well, I would guess that St. Mary's is probably just going to hold on to the ball, especially since they're struggling at the face-off X, so that they can start the second half with possession with the penalty. But they might want to take advantage with the two-man down, given I don't know exactly how much time is left in the second penalty or in the first penalty, excuse me. So we'll see if they're going to go with a quick hitter or if they're going to go and try and score the goal here. And just like I thought, they're going to wind down the clock.
so the Knights take a 5-4 lead here in the first half of a close game between two CAC teams looking for their second conference win of the season. We got a dandy here for you guys coming up in the second half. What are your thoughts in the first half, Ryan?
This is definitely a much better performance as we saw today than we did last Wednesday or on Wednesday against Bridgewater Eagles. You're getting a lot of great play by your goalkeep. Jace Thomas is winning some faceoffs, and they're actually capitalizing on their opportunities and not turning the ball over as much. So I'm real impressed with the Knights' performance, as well as St. Mary's is playing very aggressive as well, and we're getting a lot of great play by St. Mary's goalkeep with Ross Snodderly. So I would look forward to this being just a great all-around game for the rest. This is going to be an aggressive game. So whoever works harder in the second half, I believe, is going to walk away with the win here. So
yeah, so we will take a break and we will bring you guys second half action here at the fields in about 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the fields at Southern Virginia University. We have second half action coming up here. The Knights have a 5-4 lead over St. Mary's Seahawks. Looks like the Seahawks will start with the ball in the second half. Ryan, what are you looking forward to here in the second half?
Hopefully a lot of what we saw in the first half. If we can see some aggression on defense, if Ian Arve can continue to make saves and offense can hold on to the ball, they'll end up with a win here. But another great save by Ian Arve, starting the half off strong with the penalty kill.
And so that will be Ian Arve's 9th save of the game here. Sean Lamb with the ball, passing it off to Tennyson Smith.
Oh, not so heads-up play by the freshman, but aggressive ride, able to put the ball back down on the turf.
But the Knights are able to get the ball. Sean Lamb bringing it behind the net. Looking for the open play and the smartest play for the Knights here. He passes it out to Isaac DeJarlis.
Jarlis with a skinny move inside, able to get a shot off, but missed on the far side. Good take and good defense, so it was good heads-up play by both teams. Sean Lamb liking his matchup, giving the ball over to Anthony Good, who has a short stick. Oh, and a great take, but not able to bury the ball.
Knights keep possession here to see if they can extend this lead to 2 points.
The Knights are really pressing the short stick on short stick action behind X.
Great ball movement for the Knights. Got a good shot off, but unfortunately missed by Tennyson Schmidt. And the Seahawks will look to get their first offensive possession of the second half here.
Yeah, and that was another great save by St. Mary's.
Both goalies playing good games tonight. And
again, another factor of the weather there. Lost track of his footing and slipped a little bit.
Aggressive defense by the Knights. Let's see how
Knights firing out quick.
Causing the loose ball. But the Seahawks are able to keep possession.
Although they're playing aggressive, they got to watch and be, they have to be careful with those aggressive plays because it definitely puts you out of position especially if you miss, and as they did there. So, but doesn't hurt them, and they're able to recover.
Saw a couple penalties at the end of the second quarter, the last half. And the Knights defense comes through and is able to get the ball back. Brady Cook bringing the ball up for the Knights, passing it off to Seth Garf and over to Sean Lamb. And an open shot there.
Yeah, he definitely made him pay for not stepping out on him. But that was a great shot by Tennyson Schmidt.
Tennyson Schmidt just realizing no one steps up and takes him, and he just brings it in there and takes a quick shot right on goal.
No, absolutely. And like I was saying about Seth Garf having the quickest hands, coaches Jacques Mercer and Casey Rich will say that Tennyson Schmidt has the most accurate shot, so he is definitely not the man you want to be leaving open with nobody on you, giving him time and room to really pick where he puts that ball, and he absolutely buried that rocket.
That was Tennyson Schmidt's second goal of the game. A really good freshman here for the Knights, bringing in a lot of energy.
And another face-off win for Jace Thomas.
Derek Marks in the game for the Knights, someone that we haven't seen much of today. And he'll quickly go back out. And a shot on goal, number 25, Ty Veras. So quick start to the second half for the Knights. Definitely a good sign here, Ryan.
No, absolutely, and they're just playing very well here. It looks like the Seahawks are going to take a timeout. Definitely got to be frustrating if you're Coach Childs for the Seahawks. Knights are just outplaying them in every aspect of the field. You're getting good goalie play, great defense, turning the ball over, and then Jace Thomas dominating the face-off X.
Coach Lamb must have had some wise words for the Knights during halftime, and they've just come out firing on the goal and getting 2 quick goals here to start the second half. The Knights look to play at Frostburg next Wednesday coming up. Frostburg State, definitely a great program in lacrosse. But the Knights looking here for their second win, going into playing Frostburg, a great team. So it'll be St. Mary's ball after the timeout. What do you think St. Mary's is going to look for here in their offensive possession?
Well, they definitely have to play more aggressive in the face-off X. They've struggled there where that's actually been their strength most of the year. And then they just got to hold on to the ball and make sure that they're not taking lackadaisical shots and making sure that they're taking advantage of every mistake that the Knights make defensively.
And excuse me, there is going to be a face-off here, and the Knights do get possession. Jace Thomas doing another good job on the face-off, able to get possession. He's done a good job today overall in the face-offs.
No, absolutely. This is the Jace Thomas we were seeing at the beginning of the season, where he really started off the season above 70%. Struggled against Christopher Newport and Merchant Marine, and had a few games where he struggled, couldn't really find his stride. Suffered a little injury. He was out for a few games, and then he struggled a little bit against Bridgewater. But tonight he's absolutely dominating, winning over 75% of the faceoffs that he's taken. Heads up play by Rich to dish the ball in a safe zone where Seth Garf can go and pick it up. Again, no defense picking up Ty Veers as he fires a shot over the crossbar.
Tony Good looking to get his opportunity, passing it off. And a great Tennyson Schmidt has just had his eyes open all game today, looking for the open player. Being very unselfish. Looking for Sean Lamb there for the goal.
Yeah, and that was an absolute. That was a very sneaky move by Sean Lamb. He saw that Anthony Good was able to draw all the defenders topside with a quick pass to Schmidt, and Schmidt was able to find Sean Lamb sneaking backside, and Sean able to bury the ball. Nothing much you can do there as a goalkeeper. You definitely frustrating for your. Definitely got a frustrating goal to give up if you're St. Mary's.
Sean Lamb getting his first goal of the game, his 31st of the season. Very impressive player for the Knights. The Knights able to get the ball after being loose there for a little bit. And they will slow it back up.
That was Jacob Lamb on the face-off, and he is, as well as Jace Thomas, has just dominated the face-off X. Jake Lamb going 2 for 3, and I believe Jace Thomas is now 8 for 10. So great start into the second half and even better offensive play.
Another good look.
Yeah, not stepping up to play him. These Knights will definitely shoot at you. And Seth Garf sending that one off the crossbar, going a little bar down action.
Kind of seems like St. Mary's is just laid off a little bit here in the second half. A lot different than their first half.
It looks like they're in an enclosed zone, but great save inside. Seth Garf was pretty open. Definitely didn't fall for any of Garf's fakes. So great job, great play by the defense, and they definitely needed that. Definitely needed that save.
Story of the game so far has been goalies and face-offs.
Little miscommunication on the Knights sub game, and they gave up a pretty good look, and the Seahawks were definitely not able to bury that one. But lucky break by the Knights, and they will retain their 4-goal lead.
Patrick Reese making sure the defender doesn't get a clear shot. Triple team. Another block. Good job by Sean Lamb.
The Knights were lucky. They actually had a open Seahawk wide open on the backside, and the Dodger just made the wrong decision from the pass there. Another good save by St. Mary's.
Excuse me, that was Brad Gardner earlier on defense, not Sean Lamb. Sean Lamb is an offensive player. So St. Mary's gets the ball back, and they look to cut this 4-lead deficit by your Southern Virginia Knights.
Another big save by Ian Arve. It's absolutely been lights out this second half so far. Looks like it hit him below the belt. He's definitely shaken up by that one.
Another slippage there caused by the weather. It's a wet one out there, and St. Mary's able to bring the ball up for their offensive attack. St. Mary's definitely had their opportunities here, but the Knights defense doing a good job of holding them to 4 points.
Oh, absolutely, and Ian Arve standing on his head is definitely supporting him well.
St. Mary's continues to move the ball.
Very aggressive slide there by Brad Gardner.
And another save by Ian Arve. Story of the night, or the afternoon, Ian Arve just playing great defense.
And helmet knocked off by a Seahawk seemed to have his helmet knocked off. That was a pretty physical hit.
St. Mary's getting good looks. Ian Arve getting better stops. Brady Cook coming up on the left side, passing it off. As the Knights slow it down with the 4-point lead. Sean Lamb directing the offense as Tony Good comes back into the game.
Oh, and a great shot by Cade Ridge, just missing that bottom corner barely. I wonder why St. Mary's switched up their defensive scheme to more an in-tight zone. It's really playing to the Knights' strength, where they do have such talented outside shooters and great ball movement. So just a question mark with the Knights' defensive, or not the Knights, excuse me, the Seahawks' defensive scheme here.
Once again, Sean Lamb slowing it down, looking for the one-on-one matchup, passing it off to...
Oh, and a great look by Ty Veers to Tennyson Schmidt.
That's about as easy as it gets right there for Tennyson.
Absolutely. Ty Veers set up almost a slam, pretty much a slam dunk for Tennyson Schmidt, and that was just a great heads-up play by Sean Lamb to carry the ball a little bit below and make the St. Mary's defenders decide between two zones, and just created a skip lane for Ty Veers to find Tennyson Schmidt backside.
So 4 straight goals for the Southern Virginia Knights. You know, you got to think the St. Mary's coaches may be looking to switch back up their defense to what they're doing in the first half.
I would say you'd have to. I mean, with such talented stick skills where they're able to move the ball so fast, and you got shooters on the outside that really can put the ball anywhere they want. You'd have to switch it up, probably put more pressure on them.
And a loose ball, and the Knights are able to get another offensive possession. Knights been doing a good job on the face-off today, along with the goalie Ian Arve having a game. The Knights offense being more patient as the game goes along, getting great shots.
Not the best of looks for sophomore Sean Lamb.
So St. Mary's is able to bring the ball up on the offensive end, looking to, bring this deficit down. It's coming to the end of the third quarter. Don't want to go into the fourth quarter with a 5-point deficit.
No, definitely not. St. Mary's definitely needs to kill some clock here and come away with the score. They need to give their defense a rest, where the Knights have really just been hammering them for the whole third quarter. But the aggressive on-ball play is just really frustrating this Seahawks offense.
Knights defense doing a good job of keeping their defenders in check, but missed that player for the Seahawks, and lucky break for the Knights.
Yeah. Looked like Colin Maxfield got caught ball watching a little bit and lost track of his guy for about 3 seconds, and that's all it takes to get open in this game, where lacrosse is such a fast-paced game. Good long dodge there by St. Mary's.
Kind of a forced shot there for the Seahawks.
Yeah, some might call those a possession shot. He really had no options to go. He was getting, he's getting pounded pretty hard by the defenseman, and he had no one to pass it through. So sometimes it's best to just act like you're shooting and send it over the goal to, to allow for a reset.
St. Mary's taking off about a minute and a half on this offensive possession. And a goal. Just exactly what the Seahawks wanted to do.
No, that played right into their strengths there. That was perfect. Great dodge against a short stick behind the cage, and he was able to find a guy right in the sweet spot of shooting, which is within 10 yards outside the goal. Ian Arve really has no chance at those kind of shots. It was a good catch, good quick release, and able to bury it. Great heads-up play by the Seahawks.
The goal goes to number 44, Marshall Rhodes. And the face-off will be between Jace Thomas. And wow.
Yeah. Looks like St. Mary's strategy is now to just secede on the face-offs, put an LSM taking the face-off. Didn't really go for the ball and just waited for Jace Thomas to pick it up, and they're hopefully allow for a great wing play. But that was a great heads-up play by Brady Cook, able to pick the ball up after Jace Thomas goosed it out to him. More aggressive play by the St. Mary's defense, forcing the Knights to almost turn the ball over.
Sean Lamb with the ball behind the net. A good pass.
Oh, Seth Garfat fires a rocket shot, but sails it over the crossbar.
Nice keep possession here with 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
I definitely, I would definitely think that they're just going to hold and try to take a long dodge to hold for the last shot. But when you have a guy winning faceoffs as much as Jace Thomas is, you might as well take it to the goal.
Caterich tries for a shot there and misses, but the Knights Seth Garf able to pick it back up for the last 10 seconds of the third quarter.
That was a good take by Rich. Even better save by the St. Mary's goalkeeper.
Tennyson Schmidt to Sean Lamb. Almost gets the
Oh,
goal.
off the pipe. And that should end the quarter, yep. Got some shaken up, I believe. Seth Garf is a little shaken up, but not Seth Garf, Tennyson Schmidt.
The Knights bringing the offensive powerhouse here in the third quarter, having 4 goals, quick goals, to extend the lead. Or sorry, four goals.
It was 4
to
goals.
extend the lead to 4.
Yeah, and then the Knights absolutely dominated that third quarter. Ian Arve really playing lights out in the cage. Making some excellent saves to keep this deficit what it is. You're seeing some aggressive defense to force St. Mary's to make poor decisions, and then you're seeing a well-poised offense who's just taking advantage of the time and room that the St. Mary's zone is giving them. If I were the coach for St. Mary's, I would go back to the aggressive play that they were doing in the first half. You gotta force the ball handlers to use their skill to make these decisions instead of giving them so much space to move the ball freely and take these shots where the Knights are just absolutely putting these away and lighting up St. Mary's goalkeeper, who actually has had a pretty solid game so far.
Yeah.
So
both goalies playing well this afternoon. Just a well-rounded game from the Knights. Goals coming from 5 different players, and Tony Good, Cade Rich, Seth Garf, Jace Thomas, Tennyson Schmidt, and Sean Lamb. So 6 players getting goals this afternoon for the Knights. Definitely makes it tough on the defense to try to locate all these different scorers.
yeah, absolutely, and that's definitely something that the Knights haven't been able to have in years past. Usually, most of the scoring came from 2 to 3, maybe 4 players. But now it's nice to see that this is a pretty well-rounded offense where they have threats, even from their transition guys can score. Quick face-off, but a quick turnover by Jace Thomas.
St. Mary's able to clear it for their quick shot there from about 10 yards out.
Yeah, that was a great heads-up play by the LSM there. Saw that nobody picked him up, and he took a high shot. Whether if he misses, then they retain possession. Great heads-up play by the LSM for the Seahawks.
Seahawks definitely need to cut this lead here pretty quick coming into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, and they definitely need to just play with some confidence here. They need to know that they don't need to score the 4 goals right within the first 5 minutes of this quarter. If they can take their time and then win some faceoffs, they can still be in this game. Like I said, lacrosse is a game of momentum, and 4 goals can be scored real quick, but it's not going to be that easy if you keep turning the ball over like that.
Yeah, number 16, Derek Marks. Great steal.
Yeah, that was a great steal. And Marks is a great LSM. He has been for the past 3 years for the Knights, but this year recently he's been out for most of the season with injuries due to shin splints and stress fracture in his shins. So it's nice to have him back and working at full strength.
So did the Knights look to maybe take a little bit of time off on their offensive possessions, or keep pounding the ball into the net?
Oh, well, right here you can tell that they have 2 players on the sideline, which means they have 2 St. Mary's offensive midfielders that are trying to sub off. So I would expect them to go to the goal. This will create some space for some of the the best offensive players on the team.
Seth Garth with the ball on the top, passing it over to. Oh, now it's loose.
Yeah, quick turnover right there, but very aggressive ride by the St. Mary's attack, and they will turn the ball over. Good feed inside, and almost a scoring opportunity there. That was a very dangerous moment for the Knights.
You can see the coaches for St. Mary's are just frustrated. They're getting good looks, but just not able to connect.
Yeah, and you got to be happy that you didn't turn the ball over there, that you're able to retain possession. You stopped a 4-on-4 against 4 very talented offensive players, and but every second that ticks away just makes it harder for you to come back. So they definitely need to start, watching the clock and making sure that they're taking the better opportunities. And there's like one right there. Yeah, that was a great dodge. Great dodge.
That'll be a goal from number 99, Eric Wusthoff. Sorry if I buffered that a little bit, but the St. Mary's able to bring it to a 3-point deficit. They were getting good looks, and they finally got the goal.
Yeah, they're definitely not laying down in the in the fourth quarter here. They're playing strong. They're playing aggressive, forcing turnovers, and they're definitely still in this game. 3 goals can easily be made up in in over 12 minutes time. So still going with that LSM against Jace Thomas on the face-off strategy. So let's see if that plays a difference in this game, where they can maybe win a few more possessions. But Jace Thomas is a very athletic player, and he's able to, dodge against an LSM who is giving him the pressure.
The LSM slowing down Jace Thomas, and the Knights look to set up their offense. With Sean Lamb having the ball, letting the offense get set up, as the Knights look to get this lead back to where it was at 4 points. Very, very crucial time here for St. Mary's on the defense. If they can get a stop here and get it to a 2-point game, that's definitely puts more pressure on the Knights.
Yeah, and as the deficit shrinks, it definitely puts more pressure on the Knights, where they need to make better decisions. And as you can tell, they're putting an athletic player short stick against number 27, Anthony Good, making sure he's not going to touch the ball. Pretty heads-up play, just trying to force a turnover. But you can see the St. Mary's has stepped away from that zone, as they don't want the Knights to, freely move the ball around to kill possessions.
They get it to Tony Good, but he not able to get the shot off.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play that really bailed him out. Tony Good made a great catch, and he just didn't have his stick fully protected, and St. Mary's was able to force the turnover.
So St. Mary's looking to bring this to their 2-point game. The Knights defense having the pressure here, trying to slow down St. Mary's from getting their second straight goal.
The Knights definitely don't want to change up their strategy defensively. They've played outstanding the second half so far, only allowing 2 goals. Definitely putting a lot of pressure on St. Mary's ball carriers to either make better decisions or take shots, and I think the Knights have done really well at making that difficult for them tonight. Another great save by Arve.
Good pass and a goal. Bring it to a 2-point game. This game has definitely gotten interesting in the fourth quarter.
Definitely a great fourth quarter so far for the Seahawks. That was just a great dodge, carrying it backside, and I believe that was 25, was able to get right open in the sweet spot, and was able to put a shot on cage that Ian Arve really had a small chance at getting. So it's a great shot, great look, and St. Mary's narrows the deficit.
So the Knights bring in the powerhouse offense in the third quarter, but St. Mary's answering back here in the fourth. Looks like Brady Cook able to get that loose ball. Cook is very quick on his feet after getting the ball, bringing it up for the Knights.
That was a very heads-up play by Tennyson Schmidt, not forcing a shot and passing it inside to a streaming down midi. Shot was a little deflected there, and
the double team on Schmidt.
On a big hit, and that's going to draw a flag against number 42, Seth Garf.
And number 8 for St. Mary's plowing over Seth Garf. Antonio Mastro Manolis. I'm sorry if I buffered that.
Yeah,
guarantee you I did.
That's a tongue twister.
So the Knights have their extra man unit opportunity here.
And that definitely was a frustration hit. It could be a questionable call whether it was an illegal hit or not, but they called it a penalty, and that's definitely not what you want to have if you're down by 2 goals late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it might just be St. Mary's being aggressive, trying to get the ball back,
right
coming into the fourth quarter. So we'll see what the Knights can do here with their extra man unit. They get a shot on goal, but it's missed.
And that was a pretty far shot, typically that you'd want to take in a man-up opportunity. It's almost just inside 15 yards outside the goal. Especially against a good goalie, as St. Mary's has, that's not the look you want to be taking.
Sean Lamb on the shot, missing from about 15 yards out.
Yeah, that, again, not the shot you want to be taking against a good goalie. You turn the ball over, St. Mary's is able to get the penalty kill, and then they're on offense when they're only down by 2. So not the most heads-up play by the sophomore Sean Lamb.
So St. Mary's have an opportunity to bring this to a 1-point game coming into the fourth quarter. Definitely a turnaround here in the fourth quarter for St. Mary's, bringing this to making this a very interesting game.
There's that. We've gotten that look 3 times. This time the Knights were all over it and not allowing a shot. Great heads-up play by number 16, Derek Marks.
And a shot just off the crossbar.
Just can't catch a break. St. Mary's sideline seems to be frustrated. Looks like they're going to call a loose ball trip, so the possession will remain with the Seahawks. Great shot, but even better save by Arve, sending the ball over the crossbar. That thing was moving.
Yeah, there was definitely some speed on that shot, but Arve able to keep his eyes on it and keep it from going into the goal. So St. Mary's looks once again to cut this lead to 1 point. The pressure on the Knights defense is definitely on, and another great save by Arve.
Yeah, it's probably not the shot you want to be taking this late in the fourth quarter when you're down by 2. He didn't really have his hands free, decreasing his angle, and Arve able to read that the whole way. Had no problem with that shot.
Colin Maxfield maybe holding the ball a little bit too long there. Isn't able to get it off to his teammate.
Yeah, not the best play. Not the best play by your defensive captain there. Probably looking to score since you don't get that many opportunities as a long pull. But when you're only down by 2 in such a close, evenly matched game, that's probably not the best decision to be making.
St. Mary's making some quick substitutions here. We got a dandy here going in the fourth quarter with about 6 minutes left. Should be a close one coming down the stretch. Number 15 on the left side. Great defense by the Knights, keeping him from getting the advantage.
Number 44, that'll be Marshall Rhodes, liking his matchup at X. He's going to dodge real hard there. Great stop by Arve again, who is really keeping the Knights in this game. I would credit the deficit still being what it is due to the fact that Arve is really just making outstanding stops tonight.
I believe Arve has 14 saves here in the game.
Oh, and that was a great shot.
A goal by number 99 once again, Eric Wusthoff.
I believe that's his 3rd or 4th tonight. He's having an outstanding game, and he's able to decrease the deficit to only 1. And this one really is anybody's game. It's going to really come down to who wants it more in the last 6 minutes of this game. Knights are making some lackadaisical mistakes, and St. Mary's capitalizing on them.
All the momentum going to St. Mary's right now. The Knights, now have a 1 point lead with about 5 minutes left here. Jace Thomas gets the face-off, and the Knights have the offense possession. Jace Thomas going all the way, and he does. Jace Thomas.
And the Knights answer. Looks like our scoreboard on the screen doesn't quite match up with the one on the actual scoreboard. So the score is now 10-8. That was a great heads-up play by Jace Thomas.
Now with 4 minutes and 55 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter, the Knights extend their lead to 2 points. Jace Thomas with maybe the play of the game on the offensive side of the field here tonight. What a crucial moment to score that quick goal there.
St. Mary's really having no answer for Jace Thomas in this game. Even putting the long stick on him, he's still able to take the ball down and bury a shot.
Great passing by the Knights, not forcing, probably a shot they could have taken.
Yeah, and that was a very heads-up play by Seth Garf, as you see that he did not take the shot that he had. And when he had a shooting lane, he figured that, maybe taking a minute or 2 off the clock might be more important than scoring a goal. That was a great heads-up play by the freshman.
Just as St. Mary's is starting to get all the momentum, the Knights shut it down, making it a 2-point game, giving them some breathing room here at the end of the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes left to play. Anthony Good looking for his matchup. Good defense by the St. Mary's Seahawks.
errant pass. Tyvirus able to hang on to it, and the Knights will retain possession. The refs have just thrown on the shot clock, so now the Knights will have 30 seconds to to get a shot on goal. Even if they take a shot and it misses, it still doesn't reset the shot clock. And that is just to keep teams from stalling and just holding onto the ball. Great pass and a great shot by Isaac DeJarlis. That could potentially be the nail on the coffin for St. Mary's tonight. That was a great heads-up play by Garf and excellent, well-placed shot by DeJarlis.
That'll be DeJarlis' first goal of the game. And the Knights make it a 3-point lead, 11-8.
And there we go. Seems like we got the reset. Different face-off man for the Seahawks.
And
Great ground ball by Brady Cook.
Brady Cook just swooping in there and grabbing the ball. So the Knights are able to take off more time on the clock. Brady having some fun on the offensive end.
Yeah, he's definitely, not a stranger to the offensive side of the field, being the all-time lead, or not the all-time, but the leadingest goal scorer last year. And, this year recently transitioning to a defensive specialist. So I think he likes to take advantage of any chance he can get on the offensive end.
Cade Rich.
Great long dodge, not turning the ball over for Cade Rich. And Jason Lamb will call a timeout to probably draw up a play to kill some time and probably score off of it. So great heads-up play by the Knights.
So the Knights with the overall offensive powerhouse coming from multiple players. I think DeJarlis makes it 7 different players scoring today on the offensive end.
Yeah, and that's just incredible. Me being a former player, it's awesome to see how the growth of the program and how they're recruiting such a well-rounded team and allowing for everybody to get involved and not just relying on your 2 best offensive players.
Seemed like it's a lot different team from last year. Last year, the team relying most of their goals on Sean Lamb and Rich scoring most of their goals. So a lot different team this year with a well-rounded offensive scoring.
And the last time St. Mary's was on this field was 2 years ago, and that was a crazy game. If you guys remember, the Knights were down by 1 goal with 3 seconds left, and Casey Rich picked up a turnover and shot from about the 40-yard line, and it went in to force overtime, where Rich then scored the game winner.
Looks like the goalie stepping out of his area a little bit there. And a blocked pass coming from behind from St. Mary's.
The ball has a Southern Virginia bounce, and they're able to hold on to the ball. Goalie's out of the goal.
Sean Lamb just going through every defender on the field right now.
What a selfless play by Tennyson Schmidt with the wide open goal. Passes it off to Seth Garf, and they're able to increase the lead to 4. So great play. Great aggressive dodging by Sean Lamb, not turning the ball over, and it's adding another tally to this very talented attack unit.
Tennyson Schmidt, I believe that's his 3rd assist of the game today. He does a great job of not rushing when he gets the ball and looking for the open defender first, and then maybe looking for his own shot after that.
Right, and I don't know how many people would have been so as selfless as to not take the shot there on an empty net. So that was a very selfless play by the freshman.
So the Knights take a 4-point lead.
Going back to their original face-off guy, St. Mary's is able to win a face-off. Oh, and a quick goal by the Seahawks. They're not laying down at all. They're still in this game. I wonder why they didn't go to this face-off guy in the first place.
Luke McWright with his first goal of the game, bringing it to 3 points with 1:53 left to play. St. Mary's not going away, trying to maybe come from behind in the last 2 minutes. It'll be tough, but definitely not impossible.
Yeah, definitely not impossible, especially with how quick that goal was. So, Jace Thomas maybe not be so lackadaisical and make sure that he can, either stop the fast break if not win the faceoff. On a great hustle play by the St. Mary's faceoff unit, and he's able to win the face. A
great pass.
Oh,
number 17.
And another goal for the Seahawks.
Jack Conway with the goal, and the St. Mary's Seahawks not giving up here, bringing it to 2-point deficit. That one took about 10 seconds off the clock.
With 2 goals left, and seems like they've caught a little momentum here going into the last minute and a half of this game. So definitely not over yet, and we'll see. Maybe St. Mary's can, make a comeback, maybe force some overtime.
Coach Lamb definitely not happy about those last 2
definitely
goals.
Not happy about those last 2 goals. Switching up the face-off man to Jacob Lamb. St. Mary's with another quick win forward. And a great save by Arve. Maybe it will save the game right there. The save of the game.
For sure. Definitely save of the game there.
Yeah, look for the Knights to take their time on this clear to try to kill as much clock as possible. But a low pass might force an opportunity for the Seahawks to pick up a ball and gain possession. But great hustle play by the freshman Ty Veers to pick up the ball and take a shot will give the Knights the possession in this last minute of the game.
May have been a risky shot, but I think he saw Sean Lamb there, able to get the possession back for the Knights.
It looks like Coach Lamb calling a timeout, maybe to talk things over a little bit about how they're going to hold on and kill this last minute. Lucky break there by the Knights, and Ian Arve really, killing that momentum that the Seahawks brought in that last minute and a half of the game. Where scoring 2 goals within a matter of 20 seconds. Very dangerous for position for the Knights to be in, but Arve bailing them out and continuing the great performance that he's had all game tonight this afternoon.
So St. Mary's with all the confidence in the world right now, even though having that 2-point deficit. With a minute left in the game, the Knights trying to hold off the St. Mary's Seahawks and get their second conference win of the season going into Frostburg State.
And looking at the Knights' schedule, the only games they have left are CAC conference games. So each game is must win for the Knights, as their season goal is to make the CAC championship game. And we talk about how strong the CAC, on Saturday, April 21st, they will travel to York, Pennsylvania to play York College, who just has an outstanding team this year.
And the standings are very close right now. The Knights are tied in 5th place with St. Mary's, Southern Virginia, and I believe Wesley.
That was a great heads-up play by Sean Lamb to not force the turnover, but we have an injured shaken up Tennyson Smith on the field. Probably just tweak something on that last offensive carry. So as the whistle blows, he will be forced to go off the field for the remainder of the game.
With 42 seconds left to play, the Knights have the ball. Looks like they might be able to. Well, looks like there might be a timeout now.
Looks like the Knights are calling a timeout, just trying to get the right personnel on the field. Who's gonna be able to hold on to the ball while the Seahawks press aggressively with the double team with the 7v6 when they take the goalie out of the cage.
So the Knights are actually tied for 6th place with St. Mary's right now, and so this game will give them the sole spot of 6th place in the league. It's definitely early in league standings, but these games are super important. Definitely a game that the Knights needed to win here tonight.
Right, and if you're going to qualify for the CAC tournament, you need to have at least 3 conference wins. So this being a very, very important game for the Knights, that they need to walk away with a win here if they're going to complete their goal of having opportunity to make the CAC championship game.
So 45 seconds left to play on this snowy evening here in Buena Vista, Virginia, as the Knights look to hang on for the win. Sean Lamb and the goal.
And that will increase the score to 3. That was a quick move by Tennyson Schmidt. His defender wasn't able to keep up with him, and Sean Lamb was able to give him a perfect pass, and Tennyson Schmidt was able to put the ball away on a wide open goal.
Tennyson Schmidt with his 2nd goal of the game, I believe, and well-rounded game for him with 2 goals and 3 assists.
But that forces another face-off where St. Mary's has won the past 3, and they were able to score 2 goals within 20 seconds. So again, this game is not over. Very important face-off for Thomas here. Oh, it's St. Mary's winning the move.
Loose ball.
And
looks like St. Mary's will pick it up.
Yeah, great wing play, forcing a 50-50 ground ball, and then a quick turnover at midfield. And looks like they'll be able to run out the rest of this, play a little game of keep away here to run out the rest of the game.
Sean Lamb, the quick-footed Dodger, able to clear it out, and the Knights will seal the victory.
As you see, the little fist pump already for Sean Lamb, celebrating the victory. And that'll do it. Great performance by the Knights here. Able to hold off the quick surge that St. Mary's was able to put on in the last 2 minutes of the game. Great job by goalkeeper Ian Arve. Really, I would give credit the win to him, making outstanding saves tonight, and making sure that he was shutting down every single opportunity that St. Mary's did have today.
Definitely, I give Ian Arve a lot of credit, and also Tennyson Schmidt with a well-rounded game, and just overall offensively, the Knights having 7 different players scoring goals unofficially. So the Knights take 1 step closer to making the CAC playoffs with their 2nd win. What are you looking forward to going into Frostburg State next Wednesday?
Frostburg State is a very talented program. They've had great teams in the past. Last year, the Knights played against them and were winning by 1 goal with 2 minutes left in the game. Unfortunately, we fell short, but that's a big confidence booster when you're playing these top-tier teams and keeping it close. So I think they just need to go in with some confidence, the same confidence that they had against this team. Frostburg is a winnable game, and I think if they have great goalie play like they had tonight, and if Jace Thomas can win some faceoffs, I think that they can shock the CAC and have Southern Virginia come away with the first top-tier CAC team win of the season.
Yeah, Frostburg definitely a good program, but the Knights are getting better and better weekly. Definitely a winnable game for the Knights. That'll do it here for men's lacrosse here at Southern Virginia University up at the Fields. The Knights getting the 13-10 win, and that'll do it for us here at the Fields. I'm Aaron Rumbaugh here with Ryan Larson. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.